Last year was the first time when I got a lot of strawberries from my very small strawberry patch. It is then I finally realized the secret to get a lot of strawberries, which is what I will share today. You see, I started with 10 June bearing strawberry plants about 3 years ago. At that time, and the year after that, each plant made hardly 2 or 3 strawberries, and half of these were destroyed by roly-polies. I was frustrated because gardeners on Instagram were harvesting bushels of strawberries, and my plants were not producing enough. I still did my due diligence of caring for the plants by adding organic fertilizer in spring and letting them grow. You can see my strawberry patch is really tiny. It is barely a foot by 8 feet, so 8 square feet. But over the past 2 years, the strawberry plants did something, and I didn't do something I was supposed to do. A combination of these two led to a lot of strawberries last year. Although I did lose quite a bit to roly poly bugs again. It was as if I had a race with roly poly. As soon as a strawberry would ripen, they will get into it, and it was done. So let us solve the roly poly problem first, and then I will tell you the other secret for getting more strawberries. I noticed that roly polies would eat the strawberries that were sitting too close to the ground, but they would leave the ones that were hanging slightly above the ground. So this year, while the plants are still dormant, I'm going to cut some chicken wire and put it on top of this patch. I will use landscaping ground pins to hold it in place. How I expect it to work is, when the plants start growing, they will grow through this chicken wire. Even the strawberry flowers should pop above this wire. Once the flowers turn into strawberries, it will get heavier and start to sag downwards. Then the chicken wire will stop it from going all the way to the ground. This way the strawberries won't touch the ground and roly-polies won't get it. There definitely will be some strawberries that may be trapped under the chicken wire, but I think that number will be less than what I lost to the bugs last year. This should work in theory. We will see how it goes, and I will update you later this year whether it worked or not. Strawberry plants love to multiply. I started this batch with just 10 plants, and over past 2 years they kept making runners. I am supposed to cut the runners off and maybe leave just one per plant, but I never got to it. Every time I found a runner leaping out of the patch, I would pick it and put it back in the patch. Two things happened here, and there is a third thing I need to caution you about. First, it resulted in a lot of strawberry plants. Second, over a period of past 3 years, the strawberry plants established themselves. An established fruit plant produces more than a newly planted plant. Wanna guess what happens when you have a lot of strawberry plants? You get a lot of strawberries. Before this, I was trying to grow strawberries in vertical planters, but they never made it through the winter because they couldn't survive in the planter and, of course, never got to establish or clone themselves. The one thing I failed to notice on Instagram was that all the gardeners who had heaps of strawberries did show a big enough patch as well. So I clearly didn't get enough strawberries without a big enough patch. But there is a catch to it. Well, that almost rhymed. Patch and catch. Or patch with a catch. Because there are so many plants growing in this small space, it is prone to fungal diseases, like this one. I think it is called as leather rot. I noticed a couple of strawberries suffering from it last year. If time allows, I will try to thin this patch by taking some plants out and transplanting them in a different place. This should lower disease stress by letting more air flow between these plants, and I will get to start the next strawberry patch. It is said that a strawberry patch performs well for 2 to 3 years, and then the plants should be replaced with new ones. So, while this patch keeps producing this year and hopefully next year, if I succession plant one patch this year and another next year, the third year from now, I can replace this patch with new plants while one of the other two newer patches should start producing. Again, this should work in theory, but we will know only 3 years from now. So you better subscribe. No, I'm kidding. If I am still making videos in 3 years, I will post it, but it is a tough work with not much motivation. You can definitely help by liking, commenting, subscribing, and sharing. And let's just hope I have enough patience to keep doing this. I also have a few ever-bearing strawberry plants, but the bunnies destroyed them last year. So I started a new batch in this old garden cart. I'm trying to find a good place to put these in ground. If you want to know how to grow your own strawberry patch from scratch and what is June bearing versus ever bearing strawberries, check out this video linked on the screen. As always, thanks for watching and supporting this channel.